Hey, happy Sunday. Somebody asked where my Ray-Bans were. I had them in the glove compartment. I was still wearing my old glasses. You know how it is, you get a pair of sunglasses broken in and you just, you know, you like them. These aren't quite broken in yet. Part of the problem is I have lopsided ears. This one is slightly higher than this one. So it takes a little bit of finagling to get the glasses exactly right. I'll have to go back to Costco and get them adjusted a little bit. Yeah, they told me that's actually very common. It's not at all unusual to have that. A lot of people do. I just went and put some stuff in the blessing box, and I gotta go get root beer. I was supposed to go get it this morning when I went out to get groceries, and I forgot the root beer. My younger son asked if I would please pick up some root beer, preferably in bottles, not glass bottles, not the plastic bottles, and not cans, unless that's all they have. So I personally don't like root beer. I don't like the way it tastes. To me, it just doesn't taste good. It tastes yucky. He loves it though, so I told him I would, but I forgot it this morning. I got home and he was all excited. Did you get the root beer? Oh shoot, I forgot. So I told him I would go after my class today. Excuse me, I had a class to go to. And I'm dying. No. Now I gotta go find root beer. I'm trying to think of where I want to go to get it. You know, I don't want to go to Walmart. It's Sunday afternoon. I am not going to Walmart. Not going to Walmart because I don't have a death wish today. It's just always so freaking crowded. And if that's all I need, I'm not going to Walmart. You know, I went to Joann Fabrics yesterday to see their Valentine's Day stuff. They didn't really have any out. All they had out were Valentine's Day socks and a little bit of garland, and that was it. Now, they did have two aisles kind of cleaned out, like they were getting ready to put some stuff out, but they don't have it out yet. Hell, Walmart couldn't wait. It wasn't even Christmas yet. And that Cupid had done pushed on into the seasonal aisle. The Christmas stuff was already being pushed out. Like, screw you, Santa, get the hell out of here. Cupid's like shooting him in the ass with an arrow. And get out of here, fat man, you know, your time is up. Go away, you little elf. Just beat it. They had already started moving it out and putting the stuff in. Man, they could not wait. Joann's taking, no, don't, let's see, don't turn here. Joann's taking their sweet ass time. They don't have much out at all. Socks and garland. I can't make much of a wreath out of socks and garland. I mean, I reckon I could if I tried, but I don't believe I want to do that. So I went to Hobby Lobby and they had some stuff out, and I did get some stuff there. I was thinking, you know, I wanted to use some different colors, but then I saw this thing. They had these little, it was so cute. They had this little bag. They had these bags that you could buy, and they had these little felt like love notes. They're like this big, little fit. Isn't it a shame there's no way around me? Boy, if only they would invent this thing. Maybe they could call it a passing lane. Why are you huffing my fumes? There's a car back. I hope you're turning right. You're turning off. That's why you're back there. Because otherwise there's no reason for you to be there. Literally less than a car length behind me. You're turning off, right? You're turning right here. Please tell me you're turning. Oh, no, you just want to punish yourself. Oh, my God. All right. Whatever. Yeah, there's a car. Turn off. Turn off somewhere. God, I hate people. I hate driving. I used to enjoy driving. Turn here. Turn here. He's got to be turning somewhere. Anyway. What the hell was I saying? Oh, they had these little, it was in a bag, and they had a bunch of felt love notes. And I said, that would be so cute in a wreath. A bunch of, just like decorated with bunches of little love notes. That would be adorable. So I bought them. And then I went and looked at the mesh. And the mesh was all 40% off. So I went ahead and got some mesh. And their mesh, too, is way cheaper. For some reason, if you go to Michael's, the only time I get mesh at Michael's is when it's half off, which it almost never is anymore. If you get mesh at Michael's, it's like some of it is $15 for a little roll. Like the same roll at Hobby Lobby is $6.99. Right there, you could have gone around me 3 times, but at least he finally turned off. Let's see. Now, if I want to go, oh, I'm going around my ass to get to my elbow. Actually, I probably shouldn't have gone this way. My back hurts. I don't know what the hell I did. In that class that I survived yesterday, I don't think my back survived it. I've been having muscle spasms in my back. I think that's what they are. So we're gonna make a wreath with little love notes. They're so cute. Oh my gosh, they're adorable. And they have their artificial flowers were also 40% off. So I'm not gonna put a bunch of flowers in it, but I thought it would be pretty to put some red roses in there too. So I bought some really pretty red roses to put in there. Oh man. And I went with purple and white and 2 shades of pink for the mesh. It's Blush and Bashful. It's 2 shades of pink. It's pink and pink, but they're not identical. It's Blush and Bashful. And so I wanted to try to find a different color, and I looked at the mesh at Joann Fabrics, but they didn't really have anything that was jumping out at me. So I thought, well, I mean, I wanted to go ahead and get the stuff while I was thinking about it. So I could have made that. I could have made that, backed up and made it again. Anyway. Made it that time. So I wanted to say something about something, and it's something that I wanted to say something about something. It's something, yeah, I don't know what the hell I was saying there either. I wanted to say something about a comment that I get, not from the same person, but this comes up a lot. And if I make a video talking about anything uncomfortable, I get this comment. Like when I talked about having a stalker, somebody said, you shouldn't waste your time thinking about this, or you shouldn't waste your time thinking about or talking about this person. You should just, you know, learn from it and move on. Or, you know, I mean, it wasn't a mean comment. It was just basically saying, you're too awesome of a person to spend your time thinking about that. You should, you know, just focus on good things. And don't spend time talking about that. I get that a lot. Whenever I talk about anything vaguely uncomfortable, somebody will always say that I shouldn't spend my time or my energy thinking about that. And it reminds me, there are some people in my family like that, that's how they deal with things that make them uncomfortable. They would rather just ignore it. Like, no, we don't talk about that. And as a result, you end up with a family of people who can't talk to each other about anything unpleasant or uncomfortable. And that leads to problems, and shit gets bottled up, and then you know what I mean? It blows up out of nowhere. And when I talk about things that are uncomfortable, I do it not because I want you to feel sorry for me or I'm looking for attention or sympathy. It's not that. It's that, you know, and I would say this to my own family, sometimes you need to talk about uncomfortable stuff. And sometimes you have to think about uncomfortable stuff. You cannot ignore it and think, well, if I just don't think about it, it'll not be a problem. It will go away. Well, sometimes you have to think about stuff. Now, that's a fine line. I mean, you don't want to ruminate on stuff. And I guess it's hard to tell sometimes when you've gone too far with thinking about something. Because I know, I will admit, one of my personal flaws is I ruminate on things. I do. They will just churn around in my mind, and I just cannot let it go, and I can't get it out of my head. Now, I do that. That is definitely something that I struggle with, and I have struggled with it all my life. I get shit stuck in my head. I cannot stop thinking about it. The stalker's not one of those things, though. I hadn't thought about that in quite a while. Because fortunately, to the best of my knowledge, I haven't had a stalker in quite a while, and I hope to hell it stays that way. If you're thinking about stalking me, don't. Number one, I'm not that interesting in real life, and number two, I will not tolerate you, and I will not go down easily, so just don't waste your time on me. Remember, first of all, that I'm boring, and in real life, I'm kind of unpleasant sometimes. I'm not the funnest person to be around all the time. I'm not really worthy of your stalking energy. You shouldn't stalk anybody, but you damn sure shouldn't stalk me. Please don't. I'm 50. I'm tired. I want to just go. Most of the time, I'm fantasizing about a nap. I'm not fantasizing about you. I don't want anything to do with you. And if you want to kill me, you're going to have a damn hard time of it, and I will blast your ass. Do not mess with me. Just go away. Don't stalk me. What the hell was I saying? No, I don't sit around thinking about that. I wanted to talk about it because somebody, you know, there was that comment from that one guy, which, by the way, if you go to his channel and read his little about me, holy shit. Ah, God almighty. Woo! There's a lot to unpack in there, as the young cool kids say. Oh, God knows. Okay. Somebody said, you know, basically, well, you're not an A-list celebrity. Why are you, you know, you keep talking about it like, what, do you think somebody's going to stalk you? Well, actually, Sparky, they did. You want to hear about it? It's not that I sit around thinking about it. This happened years ago. It's not at the forefront of my thoughts. But just because you talk about something doesn't mean that you're obsessed with it or that it has completely consumed you. You know, I'm not Smeagol with the Ring. You know, I'm not my precious. You know, I'm not sitting around with my stalker story, petting it like a my precious. I'm not doing that. Shit. No, but if I talk about it most of the time, it's because I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about. And I think there are certain uncomfortable topics that people don't really talk enough about, and I think it doesn't hurt for somebody to bring it up and say, you know what, this is something I've dealt with, and I don't have any problem talking about it, and you shouldn't feel ashamed and not seek help if you need it. Like, I have been very open about the fact that I have dealt with depression and anxiety my entire adult life. I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I have been in therapy. I tried antidepressants. They were not for me, but my situation doesn't apply to everybody. A lot of people don't feel comfortable talking about that. Even now, talking about your mental health is not always something that you feel comfortable doing. So, but if I ever talk about a bad situation and you think I'm wasting my time talking about it, what would you rather I spend my time doing? You know, I can sit here and smile and whisper and crinkle things, and that's awesome, and I like doing that, but there's more to me than that. You know, there are good and bad things in everybody's life, and it's okay to focus on the good things, but you can't completely ignore the bad things and act like they never happened. For one thing, you could learn a lot from the bad things in your life. I think for me, I have learned more from adversity and bad things, tragedy, you know, horrible things that have happened in my life. I've learned more from the bad things than the good. I really have. That's where your strength comes from, is handling and overcoming adversity and bad things. Because if you live long enough, I don't care who you are, bad shit will happen to you. It doesn't matter. I don't care how rich, famous, whatever you are. Bad shit will happen to you. If you live long enough, you will have bad things happen to you that were not your fault. And you're going to have to deal with them, and you have to figure out how you're going to deal with them. And some people don't deal with bad things very well. And I think part of the problem is that a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking about it. They don't feel comfortable thinking about it, dealing with it. So they bottle it up. They try to ignore it. They try to move on and act like it never happened. And they never process the feelings. They never feel the feelings and deal with it. Where the hell am I going? I have run my mouth to the point that I am in the completely wrong area. I'm on autopilot. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking, but I think I'm headed to Walmart. No, I don't want to go to Walmart. I'm not going to Walmart. Crap. Now, well, anyway. I had this better formulated in my head before I started talking, because now I feel like I cannot effectively express the way I feel about this. Sometimes I will talk about things that you may not like. And if your first response is, shut up, stop wasting your time on it, why do you think I need to shut up? Why do you think I'm wasting my time? What would be a better use of my time? Other than talking about how I really feel. Train tracks! Ah! What's a better use? What's a better use of my time then? I am a human being just like everybody else. See, that Audi back there was smart. They slowed down before they went over it. Yikes. Sometimes in life it's gonna rain. And you have to deal with it. You can't ignore it. You can't cover it up. You can't work the pain away, drink the pain away, screw the pain away, party the pain away. It's still going to be there. It's still going to be sitting on your chest waiting for you to deal with it. And there are people who have spent their entire lives running from pain rather than dealing with it. And they go on to affect other people in their lives, and it spreads like a virus. And I think there is a lot of that. You have generational trauma from pain that was never dealt with, never talked about, never thought about, never handled. So, you know, if I had a stalker, I'll talk about it. I'm not talking about it for, you know, I don't feel like it's a waste of time. People need to know that that is a thing that happens. It could happen to you. There could be somebody stalking you right now. I mean, I hope not, because that would suck. But I wanted to just share a little bit of advice. You know, be your situational awareness. Have your situational awareness. Don't walk around looking at your phone. Put your phone away, especially if you're out in public, and especially if you're alone. Put your phone up. Pay attention to what is going on around you. I'm not saying you got to be paranoid, but just be aware of what's going on, you know? Quit looking at your damn phone all the time. I see people all the time. Who's got the freaking... I feel like I could go, but I don't trust these people. All right, I'm going to try it. Thank you for not honking at me. Somebody honked at me yesterday because I didn't go when they thought I should. We'll just both sit here till we're dead. We'll just sit here till we both die. Because screw you, lady. There was a reason I couldn't go. I had to go across 4 lanes of traffic and I couldn't quite make it yet. And some bitch behind me honked at me. I'm still mad about it. Anyway. I don't sit around ruminating on trolls, stalkers, negative people. I really don't. I enjoy my life. I don't spend my time thinking about them. Just because I mention them occasionally doesn't mean that I'm obsessed with the notion. That I'm just sitting around, like I say, petting it like the ring from the Lord of the Rings. I'm not doing that. But do I want to mention it? Because this channel is really just kind of a stream of consciousness. If it comes to my mind, I may bring it up. Because I don't bitch so much on my other channel. I do it here. Because it's what's on my mind at the moment. But for me, most of the time, if I could just bitch a little bit, I'm good. I just move on with my day. I get it out, and then I move on. I'm not sitting around, you know... I'm not like a human crock pot. It's not sitting in there, you know, on low for 8 hours and then I bring it out. And, no, I bitch and then I move on. Sometimes I do it as kind of a lesson like, hey, if you're dealing with this, this might be a good way to deal with it. You know, if you have a stalker, don't talk to them. Don't communicate with them. I tried to tell the guy to leave me alone, and then I ignored him, and then he sent me flowers at work, and that scared me, and then I emailed him and told him to screw off, and I had to get the police involved. You know, if you have to do that, do it. I mean, if you feel like this has gone beyond what you can do without some help, get some help. Whether that's a stalker or, you know, if you need to talk to a therapist or a counselor or somebody, do it. You know, my family, I have lost an uncle and a great uncle to suicide. And I don't know why either one of them did it. I don't know. But I just wonder if they hadn't grown up in an environment where it was not okay to talk about anything or get help. Maybe if they hadn't grown up in that environment and they felt like they could have gotten some help, maybe they wouldn't have done it. I mean, we'll never know, but I am a big fan of talking about things. And it's not taboo. If you need help, if you are depressed or you're dealing with something, there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting help. I think everybody in your life would want you to do that. I mean, I wish my uncle and great uncle had. My uncle, I saw him three or 4 days before he did it. Had no idea. No idea. He came to a family reunion, and it shocked the hell out of all of us. We had no clue. No clue. He was smiling. He was laughing. He was happy. I have pictures of him there at that reunion. No sign of any problem at all. But that's what a lot of people do. Like, if they've already made up their minds they're going to do it, they seem happier, you know, in the last few days. And that might have been the case with him. I don't know. But whatever was going on, I don't know. But maybe if he had felt like he could talk to somebody, he wouldn't have done it. So that's why I'm a big advocate for talking about stuff. And that doesn't, again, it doesn't mean I'm obsessed with it. It doesn't mean that it is taking over my life. It just means that I'm taking a minute to talk about it. And none of these videos are terribly long. It's not like I'm sitting here for 8 hours bitching about something. That would be funny. I think I'd get tired of my own self after about an hour, though. I'd be like, Mary, just, God, shut up. You're just repeating yourself at this point. Ooh, I can get a good spot. You know, I was here earlier. And this is the same spot I got. Were you headed for this spot? I'm sorry. I'm in it now. I parked here, and there was a car. It's like an SUV right here. They had this giant poodle in their car. It's a giant poodle. And it was looking at me. His face looked all round because of his curly hair, the way it was cut. And I went, hey, dog. And he just went all Cujo on me. Like, damn, sorry. It scared me. Because for a second, he looked like he had the happy little poodle face, and then he turned into Cujo. God. Okay. I got no beef. Just please don't eat me. Because that is an embarrassing way to go, and I don't want to have to explain that in the afterlife. How'd you get here? Well, it's a funny story. I was at the grocery store, and a poodle ate me. Yeah, he didn't eat me, but he damn sure wanted to. I got the hell out of here. I went on in the store like, okay, sorry. So no, I don't obsess over bad stuff. I'm not obsessed with the stalker. I'm not obsessed with trolls. It's just funny to talk about them sometimes. It comes to mind, and you know, I like to complain about things, and so I just complain for a few minutes, and then I move on to I'll distract myself. I'll see like some cotton candy or something, and I'll start talking about that because my mind is a circus, and sometimes my attention span is not great, and I am very easily distracted. So yes, if you are struggling with anything, don't feel like you can't talk about it. You know, find somebody that you can talk to, even if you don't have anybody in your life. If you can talk to a therapist, a counselor, someone, if you are a part of a religious organization, sometimes you can go talk to somebody there. You know, even if you find like an online support group for whatever you might be dealing with, there are support groups everywhere. Please do. Don't feel like you're all alone, because you're not. And if you have people in your life trying to shame you or trying to make you feel bad, you know, if you tried to say, hey, you know, there's something I'm dealing with and it's bothering me, don't feel like you can't talk to people. Even if people in your life are trying to make you feel like you can't, don't feel like you can't, because you should. You can and you should, and I hope you do. Before I go, I have the sweetest thing here. One of my instructors gave me a Christmas card today. She is the sweetest person. I love her. I love her class. She is about this tall and about this big around, and she's had 5 kids, and she is the most enthusiastic little ball of energy I've ever seen, and I love her. She's just one of these people, like, she just has this light about her, and when you're around her, you can't help but feel better. You can't help but feel good, because she's got this amazing positive energy. It's very rare to see that. It's consistent. She's, you know, she's always like that. Doesn't matter. She's always so positive. And this is a person who has dealt with a lot of adversity in her life, but she still tries, you know, she's still so positive. And it just, she gave me a Christmas card, and she wrote my name on it. And I want to open it. I see my card. It's so sweet. She gave me a card. Season's greetings. It's little cardinals. You know what's weird, talking about cardinals? We have a lot of birds here, and usually in the winter, you see a lot of birds. You see cardinals, the little the little goldfinches and stuff. I haven't seen a cardinal in, I would say, at least a month or two. I was thinking about that the other day. I was looking out at my bird feeders, and there are other birds out there, but number one, not as many as normal, and number two, I haven't seen a single cardinal out there, which is odd because they love my bird feeders. But I haven't seen one, and I bet I haven't seen one since Halloween, or maybe longer than that. I don't know where they went. They're our state bird. I mean, they should be here. It's just odd. I don't know why. Maybe I just haven't seen them. Oh my God, she is so sweet. Look at this. I love her handwriting, first of all. This is gonna make me cry. Happy holidays, love. Mary, you are totally awesome, and I knew it the first time you came to dance. Oh my God. She is the best. She is just I love her. Oh my God. That is so sweet. That is just the sweetest thing I have seen. This is my thing of the week right here. You know, I told you I was gonna start doing a thing where every week I'm gonna make a note of either the best thing that happened that week or a good thing that happened that week. This is definitely this is the number one thing that happened this week. Absolutely. Because this is great. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna put this on my desk at work so I can look at this whenever I'm not having a good day. Isn't she something? Oh my God. She said she hasn't seen me really, and then I saw her last week, but she said she forgot it, but she's so sweet. Oh my God. That made my day. That just made my whole day. That absolutely did. So it's hard to remember when things are not going well, that, you know, everything is awful. Because I tend to awfulize things. I awfulize things all the time. And I get that way sometimes. And I feel like everything sucks. Everything's awful. It's just, everything is shit. And I get mad. And sometimes I think I just need to be mad for a little bit. And then I kind of get over it. But it's hard to remember sometimes that, you know, things aren't all bad. And sometimes you can kind of awfulize them in your mind and turn them into something, you know, worse than what it really is. Because I do that. I tend to do that. And then I ruminate on them. But everything is not awful. It can't rain every day, as the saying goes. It can't rain every day. And sometimes it does rain, but it's not going to rain forever. But if you need help, you should absolutely get it. Don't ever feel like you can't talk about stuff, because you can. And I can't find my wallet. Oh, there it is. Everything is not awful. Sometimes it does rain, though. Now I can't find my damn keys. Well, I had a coat on earlier, and then I got hot, and I've turned it into alfalfa because my hair wants to stick up. A lot of y'all youngsters don't know who alfalfa is. Y'all missing out. Little Rascals. God, I remember there was this one episode of Little Rascals, and I remember watching it as a kid, and I laughed so hard that I fell off the couch, and I literally felt like I could not breathe. It was the funniest thing. It's the old black and white ones they made back in the 30s or 40s. And these kids, and they were, I don't know if they were doing like a pine box, soapbox derby or what they were doing, but they were in this, little derby car or a wagon or something. They were going down this sidewalk, and they were knocking people over, and people were flying in the air. And I just thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. I might have been 6 or 7 years old. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, Alfalfa was this kid on the show who, and from what I heard, his family was from Missouri, and they were in California on vacation or something. And they were doing a casting call, or somebody saw him and said, you want to do a, you know, an audition to be on a show. And he did an audition. He got the part of Alfalfa. And he always had this hair that was twisted and like sticking up back here. So, turned into Alfalfa. Anyway. I'm sure there are clips of the Little Rascals on YouTube if you're interested. But yeah, when I was a kid, I just thought it was the funniest thing. I've tried watching it as an adult, and it's not quite as funny, but it's still pretty funny. But anyway, I'm going to go in here and look for root beer. So if I talk about things and you think I'm wasting my time, just try to think about it in terms of all that verbal vomit that I spewed up a little while ago. It's not necessarily a waste of time if somebody else might get something out of it. And sometimes I just talk. I'm like, I don't know. I just run my mouth, and maybe it is a waste of time, but I'm probably not going to stop doing it. But I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. I'm going to go in and look for root beer, and I'll see you again soon.